Hyundai's got a new Santa Fe coming to market. The fifth generation of this venerable three-row SUV looks a lot more rugged than before. In fact, a lot of folks are drawing comparisons between this and the Land Rover. But is this actually a more rugged off-road capable machine, or is it just a boxier take on something we've seen before? We've come all the way to South Korea to take it for a spin and find out for ourselves. Beneath that more aggressive exterior, the drivetrain options haven't changed much. The standard engine for the new Santa Fe is the same 2.5-liter turbocharged engine that was available in the outgoing version, now making 277 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. On the hybrid side, it's a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine, now making 232 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque, which is a nice boost over the outgoing hybrid's 171 horsepower. However, the plug-in hybrid version of the Santa Fe sadly does not return. So nothing too exciting on the powertrain side. It's the new look that's the exciting part, and a new interior layout too. Not only will you find niceties like 2 sunroofs, 2 wireless charging pads, and even 2 glove boxes, you'll find a third row of seating way back in that boxy rear end. So in a lot of ways, the test of a true SUV like this is how easy can I get in the back seat. So let's find out. I've got a button here that will move this forward, and then another button here that I can push. This seat goes forward. Let's climb in here. I pull the seat back. This isn't too bad. I've got rear climate controls back here, and there's a, let's see, a 220 outlet actually, so I could plug in my laptop if I want to, or keep my switch charged on the road. And I've got USB-C ports on either side as well. And these seats do fold flat, of course. There's push button folding on the back, so it's a nice one-touch, easy thing to do. Not too bad, but I think I'd rather be in one of the seats up front. Let's try the second row. I think the egress is a little more awkward than the ingress, but second row here is actually not too bad. So now I've got power adjustment for my reclining, which is quite nice. I've got my own armrest. We've got the captain's chairs configuration here, which means only 2 seats across here. Now, interestingly, I do not have HVAC controls here, but you can control front or rear from the touchscreen, so you might have to ask your parents to change the temperature if you're uncomfortable back here. But I do have vents on the side, and again, we've got more USB-C ports here if I want to. And you can also push the front seats up and out of the way, so if you need a little bit more leg room and there's nobody sitting up there, you can do that pretty easily. But ultimately, I think up front is where I'm going to want to be, and it's time to get behind the wheel and see how this thing drives. All right, we're behind the wheel of the Santa Fe now, and if you are hoping for a more rugged, adventurous driving experience to match the more rugged and adventurous exterior styling that we have in this version, well, I'm sorry to say you're going to be a little bit disappointed. This car very much drives like the outgoing Santa Fe, which is to say comfortable, relaxed, quiet, and ultimately a very nice car to drive, but not really aggressive and not certainly harsh or punishing, or it doesn't crash over bumps. It doesn't feel like your typical off-road rugged kind of SUV. I'm driving in a model now with the 18-inch wheels, which is the smaller of the option, and probably the one that I would recommend as well. It makes things a little bit more comfortable, more smooth over road imperfections. Mind you, I've been driving around here in Korea, which has in general very nice roads, generally well paved, but certainly plenty of speed bumps to go over, and you can definitely feel the difference between these smaller wheels and the larger wheels that you can get on the larger, more powerful engine. Speaking of engines, this is the 1.6-liter turbocharged hybrid that I'm driving around right now, which is certainly the more economical choice if you want better fuel economy. This is the one to go with. Hyundai hasn't given us any formal figures for this car just yet. It hasn't gone through all the formal testing yet. But this same powertrain in the old Santa Fe delivered somewhere in the low to mid 30 mile per gallon figures on a combined rating. I would expect something similar here, maybe a little bit worse because this car is a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, and a little bit boxier too. But still, ultimately, it's a good powertrain. You can go with a 2.5-liter motor if you want a little bit more power, but honestly, I think this is probably the one to go with. Get a little bit more frugality. This is, though, just a straight standard hybrid system. It's not the kind of thing that you can plug in overnight and it'll take you to work without burning any gasoline. It's definitely more to help you get a little bit better fuel economy on your commute, but it's not going to do your commute emissions-free. But again, this is a more on-road focused SUV. I don't have a 2-speed transfer case, locking differentials, or anything like that you would want if you wanted to get any proper off-road adventuring. This is more for, let's say, a dirt road, maybe a well-maintained trail, going out in a field somewhere, that kind of adventuring for sure. But this is honestly more of an on-road focused SUV, a family hauler for commuting. And if, let's say, you had to wait for somebody at school, they're a little late and you need to take a nap, the seat actually does some wonderful things. It'll fold flat, it's got a little leg rest that kicks up, and it's also heated and cooled, which honestly I've been taking advantage of. It's a pretty chilly day here in Southern Korea. very windy and brisk out there, so I've been turning the seat heater on. I've got the heated steering wheel on too, and I'm nice and comfortable in here. Now, in terms of the technology package that we have here in the Santa Fe, the main thing is these two dual 12.3-inch displays. The one on the left forms the gauge cluster, the one on the right forms the infotainment system. This is a touchscreen here with Hyundai's current infotainment system, which gives me power to do wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, of course, but I've also got a nice bit of configurability in here. I can go through and set up things like going through voice settings. I can go ahead and there's actually a built-in camera as well, which I can use for dash cam type stuff. And I've got, of course, lots of settings for drive modes. I can configure my own custom mode if I want through here, and everything else. The gauge cluster on the left here is also very configurable. I have a lot of different pages of information that I can toggle through here. Fuel economy, of course, tire pressures, engine temperatures, and all the sorts of things that I want here as well. Plus, if I'm doing navigation, I'll get that here, as well as on the heads-up display, which projects in front of me on the display there. Now, when I'm on the highway, there's a lot of advanced driver assistance technology here to help me out there. I've got advanced lane keeping assist, which does a pretty nice job of keeping the car nice and centered. You've also got adaptive cruise, which will keep you up to speed, and automatic emergency braking, and it'll make sure you stay safe out there on the road. Now, I should mention that Hyundai did also unveil a slightly more rugged version of the new Santa Fe called the XRT. It has a slight lift, 1.5 inches worth, plus some all-terrain tires, but it's still using the same engines and differential setup as the SUVs that I drove in South Korea, meaning that it too will be a rig better suited for milk runs than for pre-running. So what is the new Santa Fe? Well, it's a rugged looker, but ultimately it's still a smooth driver. And while I think some folks might want something that's got a little bit more off-road performance, for a 3-row SUV, really for me, family comfort is what's more important. This thing definitely delivers there. Plus, it's yet another example of Hyundai doing great things with their design. Look for this in dealerships first half of 2024. That's what I think of the new Santa Fe, but we want to know what you think. Let us know down in comments. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this, check out Engadget.com for lots more good stuff.